Namaste. Today I'm exploring inversion asanas and their meaning. So let's start with a very simple one, like downward facing dog. Every time that your hips are above your head in a pose, that's an inversion. So how does it feel that to let go of the leading role of the head always on top of the body? And what about if you think of your hips as your center of power? And how this is changing your perspective. So next I will practice a forward fold with a wide stance, and this is on purpose to have a good view. I want to see my surroundings and experiment how this change of perspective allow me to see a different reality, maybe outside, maybe also inside. Inversion poses are changing the way you breathe, so they also affect your mood, and I think in a good way, and they disrupt your narrative, your story in the mind. So allow that change of perspective to happen and see how it feels to go upside down and to change the way you tell yourself how reality works. If you want to go to a full expression, and if it's in your practice, you can experiment with Shirshasana, headstand. This is a full expression because your feet are in the air, and I think it feels like being grounded, being rooted in something higher than yourself, in a higher reality, and being able to really let go of the head as the commanding organ. But how does it feel to bear all that weight on your head? And also, you are defying gravity. It's like breaking a rule. It's a lot about exploring the meaning of the pose for yourself. And a really good way to practice inversions is handstands. Really paying attention to grounding, rooting your fingers on your mat, on the ground. And this is also really good for changing your mood, changing the way you see the world, changing your interpretation. It always changes your mood, but also at a physical and chemical level. So after practicing Shirshasana, it's good to compensate the neck, and shoulder stand is a great way to go, and it's also an inversion pose. And this other variation, Viparita Karani Mudra, is actually a mudra, so a sacred gesture. Surrounding yourself in a plow pose with the front of your foot on the ground is really interesting. And go into a bridge. This is also an inversion pose, hips above the head. And we are stretching our neck, and I will also add a fish pose, and those are the two asanas that I want to do always after being on my head in a Shirshasana. So shoulder stand and fish pose. And every time you've been practicing inversion poses, be gentle getting up when you go to a sitting position and transition before standing up. Thank you for watching. Namaste.